Hello and welcome to Revsportz. We're inside our car studio again because it's incredibly hot outside and it's past midnight at this point. We're recording for 12 p.m. when you're watching us in India. But I want to, joining me, of course, is Boria and Ashok, but I wanted to start off by talking about Pakistan. As much as we've talked about India and how good Abhishek Sharma was, how good the batters were, uh, and the slip up that happened in the first innings as well. What we did not talk about, or let's focus on the on Pakistan, and where do they go from here? Because at this point, you know that the pressure on them is immense, or was immense before the game started. Day before yesterday, we were at that ICC academy. We were doing our live shows, and then suddenly we hear this commotion behind us. And who is it? It's Mohsin Naqvi, who's walking in and stealing all the thunder, stealing the limelight. And the practice session goes out for a toss. Boria, the chain of events, getting everything that happened, the entire Andy Pycroft thing, accusations, whatever, all of that aside, you hire a mental conditioning coach. You walk in, you were nowhere near Dubai when the Asia Cup started. Suddenly, the second India versus Pakistan game is supposed to happen. So Mohsin Naqvi flies in into Dubai and then walks in into that practice session, clearly representing Pakistan and putting a lot of pressure on Pakistan, which was counterproductive now in hindsight. But your thoughts, where does Pakistan go from here?
First things first, I think they should go back to the drawing board. They should realize they still have two games left. They've got the Sri Lanka game, they've got the Bangladesh game. They still have a chance to make the final. They should realize that this is their best chance to make the final by winning these two cricket games. Forget about India and get India out of your system. India has gotten into the Pakistani system. And in trying to give it back to India on the political front, because they were outdone by Surya Kumar Yadav, they were outdone by what the Indians did, the frustration crept in and anger crept in. The moment you are angry, Gargi, and I've told you this many times, you should take a distance. Not that anyone can, because anger takes you over. I thought in anger, Pakistan made mistake after mistake. So to answer your question, and Ashok can obviously sort of give you a corporate perspective on it, Pakistan should at this point in time do the Ravi Shastri trick. Forget about cricket for 24 hours. Forget about what has happened against India. Forget about the loss against India. Forget about the fact that you are continuously losing against India. Get India out of your system. Tell the players that you can beat Bangladesh, you can beat Sri Lanka, and you can make the final of the Asia Cup. And Mr. Naqvi would do better to leave these players alone. Leave them alone with their coaching staff, with their own devices. They go there, they will be under more and more pressure. And these young formative minds might have mental health issues as well. So my point is very simple. Pakistan cricket needs to take a distance from the sport for 24 hours and then realize that they still have a chance against the two other teams. Get India out of your system.
Ashok, was this a masterclass on how not to handle pressure?
Absolutely. I think, what we sometimes tend to forget is that just like India, Pakistan is also a team which is in transition. They have exited some of their senior players and they are actually rebuilding their team. It is actually very unjust to kind of pile on the pressure that has been coming on to them in the last few days. All the news that has been going around in terms of the no handshake and then not attending the press conference and then so on and so forth is bound to have an impact on them. And therefore, it is not fair on a team that at this level. I would say that what has really happened is that Pakistan also has not played to their potential. What we'll need is a lot of soul searching. I agree with Boria. Perhaps the best thing to do is to step away from the game, relax for some time, and then come back and say, this is the super over stage. It needs a fresh look. It's almost like the start of the tournament. Let's see what needs to be done and then keep going at it.
Boria, the point that I want to bring up here is the fact, let's go back a day behind and think about the press conference. Now, the pre-match press conference is an incredibly important press conference from a perspective of a journalist. But at the same time, it the reason that was given to us was the fact that the Pakistan management wanted to shield the player or the captain from the outside noise. But then wasn't that counterproductive? The whole, again, coming back to Mohsin Naqvi, attending that practice session, you brought the noise.
Yeah, I mean, my point is by not doing the press conference, you're telling the players that you're not good enough to handle the media. So everything has two sides. You're actually telling them its glass is half empty rather than half full. And I've always said that the glass is half full rather than half empty. You're telling the players three things. You're telling Salman Naga that, look, the Indian captain can go and handle the press. You can't. Because we are apprehensive if you make a mistake. We want to shield you. Why does Salman Naga need shielding? He's the captain of Pakistan, for God's sake. He's your statesman. He's your leader. He's your best player, or whatever it is. That's why you've made him captain. Give him the responsibility. When is it that a Wasim Akram needed shielding? Imran Khan needed shielding. Ramiz Raja needed shielding. None of these guys, even Babar Azam, did not need shielding. Why is the Salman Naga needing shielding? Secondly, you asked me about, you asked Ashok about pressure. Imagine a team is saying 6060 at a practice session. Imagine what your mindset is. Are you going to tell me that you were focused on that practice? Are you actually going to tell me that? That you are focused on that practice and you're saying 6060? Do you not understand what we are talking about? Of course, the whole world knows what you are shouting 6060 for. Your focus is not on that practice, Gargi. Your focus cannot be on that practice if you're doing that.
Yeah.
So that is my point, that Pakistan has been on a path of self-destruction. Mr. Naqvi's visit added to that. Press conference not being held added to that. The gun being tread on Andy Pycroft added to that. The entire Pakistan media playing cheerleaders added to that. They should just shut up, for God's sake. Shut up. Introspect, get your cricket together, and tell these players at practice, go focus on practice. Do what Gill and Abhishek Sharma did in that 1 hour practice session, and look at what they did to you. Stop this nonsense of 6060.
Ashok, talking about that 6060 fact, you also look at Fahim.
Fahim,
Was
yes.
it Fahim's celebration, right?
Sahib Zada Farhan.
Oh, sorry, Sahib Zada Farhan's celebration, that one. Clearly, the players are also being fed something that is politicizing the entire situation. Unlike the Indian team, who are being told that you just need to go out there and focus on the cricket.
Look, I think before you jump into the politicization of the situation, I think what the players need to be told is first go out there and give it your best in terms of the cricket. Then the bat and the ball do the talking. After that, empower them to go out and say what they have to say. Look at Abhishek Sharma's statement, which is now going viral. I was just looking at it just before the show, where he says that I didn't like the way they were needling me, so I said I must, and he kind of went out and spoke about it. Nothing wrong with that. So,
and he said he wanted his bat to do the talking. They did.
Which is exactly what he did. So, first, focus on the cricket. Two, empower them to say what they have been going through and what they really want to articulate. And three, really, I mean, don't bother them with everything else that's happening in terms of the geopolitical tension. I think this kind of subtle or otherwise messaging is not just derogatory, it's not just demeaning, it's not just not going to serve any purpose. Ultimately, it has a very visible, tangible impact on the game that they play.
Must chew what you can digest. Chew what you can digest. If you know that you can hold it and pull it off, do it. Now that you've lost 7-0, it has come back and blown on your face. The Indians are laughing. The Indians are making merry. They have beaten you 7-0. Their captain comes, Surya Kumar Yadav comes and says 15 matches, 7-8 is a rivalry, 10-0 is not a rivalry. He's rubbed it in. You think the Indians are not noticing? When the gulf is so big, you are doing a gun celebration. Are you stupid or what? Of course you are. That is why you're doing it. Chew what you can chew and what you can digest. And I think I've made this point to both you and Ashok. They need better advisors. They need people who have more sense. They need people who will guide them better. They absolutely need better advisors.
100%. Now, I want to focus on India a little bit. A very, very scratchy first innings from the Indian team. Bowlers did not look their best. Shivam Dube standing out once again. And I want to focus on Shivam Dube as well because he got a lot of flack ahead of this game. And we were privy to that. I mean, we were doing our live shows, and every single time there would be a comment as to why Shivam Dube deserved a place in the team. Your thoughts on Shivam Dube's breakthroughs?
I think Ashok had a point about this. Why don't you go first, Ashok, and I'll come in?
Yeah, for sure. I think we spoke about Shivam Dube in the live show, and before the match, and there were questions raised in terms of what role does he exactly play. And we talked about the fact that there is a strategic thinking that's gone into the team. He plays that vital role of a middle order batsman to ensure that the batting depth is there all the way till number 8. In terms of bowling, he brings in a certain component of strength, and today what he did was to get his length right. I think when I think again about what really happened with regard to the Indian bowling, I think both Kuldeep and Bumrah erred with their bowling, and I think that's where he came in, got that length right, and which is where the captain persisted with him, and I think he delivered the goods. If you look at the economy rate, an economy rate of under 6, the best pick amongst all the Indian bowlers, he actually delivered the goods. And this is, I think, precisely what his role was defined and articulated as.
Before anyone jumps on Ashok, the economy rate that he's talking about is still over the third over. Fourth over, he went for some runs, but that was the very last part of the inning. So do not jump on him. He knows what he's talking about. The 2 wickets that Shivam Dube got, 3 overs, he had given 15 runs and taken 2 wickets. And that was the turning point of the game. Pakistan 90 for 1. And then in 17 overs, Pakistan had gotten to 130. So the game changed there. You had taken 7 overs to score 40 runs in the middle of the innings when you could have easily gotten 60. And out of the 7 overs, 3 were bowled by Shivam Dube. That's the point that Ashok is trying to make.
Let's talk about Jasprit Bumrah as well. Ashok, do you think we've not seen the best of Jasprit Bumrah in this series so far, in this tournament so far?
Look, I think you'll have to give credit to the kind of bowler and the kind of asset that Jasprit Bumrah is. It was an off day for sure, but off days will happen. I think getting into too much of a debate on what went wrong or whether things are wrong with him, things are right with him is not really is unwarranted at this point in time.
I agree
Yeah.
that he hasn't been at his best. I do. I absolutely agree he hasn't been at his best. At the same time, I will also say that what he said that he's much too good. As the tournament progresses and the final comes, you will see a Jasprit Bumrah masterclass. I think he's bowled a tad too short. I think the players have gotten after him. I mean, for example, the Pakistanis went after Jasprit Bumrah. Fakhar Zaman played some really good shots at the top of the order. You must also realize that he's bowling 3 of the power play overs. So it's not as if he's bowling at a middle period. He's bowling 3 of the power play overs when the field restrictions are in. So the batters are giving him the charge. So all of these taken together, yes, the death over also wasn't bowled to perfection, including that stepping over the line which allowed the free hit. But I agree. I agree that Jasprit Bumrah has not been at his best in this tournament. It can happen to even the best players, but there are still 3 games left, including the final. I think he'll get it right.
Ashok, Sanju Samson, one player who got so much public backing before the tournament, is now suddenly at the receiving end of a lot of hate once more. Uh, yes, he looked a little bit scratchy, but at the same time, this is not his natural batting position. What do you think?
Too early. I think one of the things that we have said is Gautam Gambhir's strategy of walking the talk. I think Sanju Samson needs and deserves to be given more opportunities. So you need to stay the course with 7 or 8 such opportunities before you come to any final conclusion. If you look at his actual performance in the 2 games that he actually got to play, he scored a 50 plus in the match before this, and today he came in and I think he did play 1 or 2 really fine shots. So I think it's too premature to come to any kind of conclusion like that. You need to give him that time, and I'm sure he will get that chance.
Because he's failed in 1 game.
I want you to talk about the flippant nature of the fans. In case, especially in the case of Sanju Samson.
I am very clear. Sanju Samson has failed in 1 match. He didn't bat in the UAE game. He didn't bat in the Pakistan game. He batted in the Oman game and he scored a 50. Yes, it's a scratchy 50, but a 50. And it was an important 50. By the way, he got the player of the match. The player of the match, the last game. He's failed in 1. And people are calling for his head. Folks, be patient. Have patience on Sanju Samson. He's batting at not a position that he's used to. By the way, even in the match against Oman, he batted 3. Remember that. He batted 3, got a 50, and he was man of the match. Today, he batted 5. In the first 2 games, he did not even bat 5. Against Pakistan, Shivam Dube had come in. So India is sort of shuffling his batting order around. Be calm. We will get Rohit Juglan to even do a show for you on that one shot. You will love that show. So we will put Rohit Juglan in front of you, and you can have a go at him, but spare Sanju Samson.
Absolutely. I mean, before the tournament started, we they were all talking about, oh, Sanju Samson needs a place in the team. Samson can't be out of the
Now
team, and
Jitesh.
now it's completely overturned. Now the tables have turned on Sanju Samson himself. But final few minutes on the show, India's tournament to lose.
You've made this point multiple times, and I think you're right. India is the gun team. India is the world champion team. India is the world's best team by a country mile. In Asia, it is much like hockey, the men's team. They don't give bow to the other teams. I mean,
Yeah.
Sri Lanka was looking good to me before Bangladesh brought them down to earth. And on the that night, Tohid Ridoy played a gem. I don't think any of the two teams, Bangladesh or Sri Lanka, can push India if India plays to potential. So yes, it is India's tournament to lose, but then maximum tournaments for India are to lose, except an Australian side or maybe a New Zealand, South African side. This Indian side is the world champion, Gargi. They won the world championship last year. And if you remember, in the same very tournament, in the same very ground where you and I are at this point, along with Ashok, they won the Champions Trophy in a canter. So India's white ball cricket, Dubai International Stadium, March of this year, India won that tournament in style. So white ball cricket, India has been absolutely magical under Gautam Gambhir, and give that man credit. So much flack for Gautam Gambhir, and look what a gun team he has already built in the white ball format. Even in the red ball format, Indian cricket came of age in England. So it's a good period for Indian cricket, and back the team rather than criticizing the team.
Ashok, your thoughts?
I think for a team that I'll talk about the T20 part of it. I think for a
Yeah.
team in transition where we've got some of the experienced players stepping away, this team has done extremely well in terms of actually raising the bar in terms of performance. I've always maintained that the kind of players like Abhishek Sharma, what they bring in is a brand of opening batsmen who are fearless in every sense of the word. People who make the opposition tremble in their boots, think twice about what the strategy is. And a 35 from Abhishek Sharma is equal to a 50 from any other batsman. And I think that kind of brand of cricket, the other teams will take a lot of catching up to do with India.
I know you got to finish the show. 1 minute, I want to speak on Gautam. Pakistan 90 for 1, there was a drinks break. You guys don't see the drinks break on telly. Gautam Gambhir walked in and there was an Indian huddle. Hardik Pandya was also speaking in that huddle. Gautam Gambhir walks in, calls the boys and starts patting people. And I was observing very closely. He patted one, he patted one, he patted one, and he moved on. He gave everybody a bit of a pep talk in the 2 minutes. Straight after, Shivam Dubey comes into bowl. I don't believe that that was not discussed in the huddle. It was. Shivam Dubey comes into bowl. India gets their second wicket, bounces back in style. When Pakistan was going after India, Haris Rauf and Shaheen Afridi, all of a sudden you could see Rinku Singh and Harshit Rana run in. 100% with the instructions of Gautam Gambhir. The man is doing a fine job. Gautam Gambhir held it back, told the team, pass the message, finish the game, then do your celebrations. Absolutely fantastic job from the coach. Well done, Gautam. Well done, because you've kept it together and you're building a gun team.
Absolutely. The Asia Cup has come alive. We're here in Dubai. We'll be covering everything from on ground. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back very soon and join us for 5 at 5 p.m. live show. Don't forget to join us then. Goodbye.